Hey guys, wanted to update you on what is the big change for Youth Convention and Fine Arts. If you heard our Facebook Live video a few days ago, then you know that we are changing Fine Arts and Youth Convention this year from one large event at the Embassy Suites in Loveland to three more regional type events. Now, it's going to be the same big convention, the same big fine arts, all the categories, everything is happening just like normal, except we're doing it three different times instead of one time. And the reason is because of the COVID restrictions. Our hotel that we typically have convention and fine arts at is not allowing the size limits to exceed over 100 right now. And so at our local churches, though, we were able to have more. And we were hoping that more students and more churches would be involved in these different regional location events. So what does it mean? How are we going to do all this? I really encourage you to watch this entire video. I know it's going to be a lot of information, but it'll answer almost every question that you might have or that your students might have. So what is this convention and fine arts going to look like? Well, again, we're going to be at three locations, one on the east slope, one on the west slope of Colorado, and then one in Utah. It's going to be a Friday and a Saturday service only. We're not going to go over onto a Sunday because we're using a local church. And so we're going to do a Friday night big blowout rally. It's going to be an amazing time. Great speaker, phenomenal worship, altar time on Friday night. And then all day on Saturday is going to be our fine arts presentations. We'll be using different rooms. We'll have the evaluators. We're working hard now at securing all of those evaluators and making sure that we have an appropriate amount and well trained. We're going to be training those guys like we did last year. They'll know exactly what they'll be evaluating your students on. We're also going to have an after party on Friday night. That might look like some might be at a summit type location with laser tag or all these different things. Some of it might just be at the church and doing something unique and special. So there'll be stuff that will happen there. And then after the presentations on Saturday, or actually during that time on Saturday, for your students that are coming to convention only, we're going to provide a local outreach. We're working with the local church and we're securing different things that your students will be able to be a part of. At the one in Utah, they're going to be actually feeding people in the neighborhood right there on the grounds. You're not going to have to take your students anywhere. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to give back, to not just be consumers at convention and fine arts, but to give back to the local community. So I'm so excited about that. We're also going to have a student lounge where your students can hang out, play games, do some different things. We'll have a youth pastor lounge where you guys can kind of sneak away, grab a cup of coffee, or just kind of hang out with one another. And then Saturday night, we're going to have a huge closing service. We're going to do a big Speed the Light emphasis that night, Speed the Light challenge, as well as our celebration service. Well, we're going to be announcing all of our Award of Merit winners and those who advance to nationals. Each location is going to have Award of Merit winners. And so we will have actually three different Award of Merit winners for most of those categories when you have one on the West Slope, one on East Slope, and one in Utah. If your students advance to nationals, it'll happen just like any other fine arts. They're going to receive the appropriate score. They'll get an invitation to nationals, and every student who scores that score will be able to go to nationals. And you'll hear more information about all of that. Our heart and our goal is to be able to end Saturday at 8:30 p.m. So we're going to do some presentations. We're going to allow some students to be able to perform and to do their presentation at that big blowout service, which will be so exciting. But we're going to be done by 8:30 so you guys can get home and be able to be at your local church on Sunday morning. So that's just kind of a little bit about how the weekend is going to look. We're going to be coming out with all of our promo videos and graphics. That's going to be coming the first week of January. I wanted that to come to you guys December 18th. However, one of our speakers for the Utah Convention and Fine Arts has not fully confirmed yet. So we're kind of waiting on that. And I'm going to talk about speakers here in just a little bit. We have negotiated with 2 hotels at each location. So there'll be 2 hotels on the West Slope, 2 hotels on the East Slope, and 2 in Utah that you're going to get a discount for. And so we'll give you all that information. The digital packet with everything is going to be coming out to you this Friday, December 18th. So be on the lookout for that. I know it's the holidays, but as soon as January kicks off, you guys will be able to get on that packet and dive through it, dissect it, and get it to your students as soon as possible, getting signed up. So hotels, guys, book them early, especially on the East Slope. We've been able to block off rooms on every other location, but on the East Slope, the hotel that we're using is not allowing us to block them off. It's going to be first come, first serve. So please, 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 earlier the better. The earlier the better for everything, for registering your students, for getting all the fine arts paperwork done. Everything is going to be done online. If you do want to fill out a hard copy paper registration, we have that available for you guys, but we've put everything online to try to streamline this. We're not just doing one event. We're doing 3 events, and that's going to push our team to the max. So we're trying to streamline this as best as possible. And so when you go to that registration link, you're going to be able to see where the students can individually sign up for their categories, for group categories. They'll each fill out all of that information. One recommendation that we have is maybe do a big parent meeting one night or a big student night and have everyone fill out that registration online together. Now, just like always, you're going to bring one church check. You'll mail in one church check for all of your fine arts and convention students, and we'll be communicating with you on all of that stuff so that you're in the know, so you know exactly what those costs will be. Each one of the church locations, just so you guys know, we mentioned this earlier, but I want to make sure you know that the East Slope will be happening at High Point in Aurora. The West Slope will be happening at VLC in Fruita in Grand Junction area. And then in Utah, we're going to be in Layton at CLC. And so all of those are going to be online. The East Slope one will happen March 12th and 13th. The West Slope is going to be March 19th and March 20th. And then Utah is going to be March 26th and 27th. So you have all the details for that. So you might ask yourself, like, hey, what if this weekend doesn't work for me? I live on the West Slope, but I can't be there that weekend. Hey, if you want to drive to Utah, if you want to bring your students to the East Slope, you can totally do that. We just need to know ahead of time. And again, on that registration link, you're going to be able to check and pick which event you plan on coming to. So just because you live in Utah doesn't mean that you have to come to the Utah event, but we're trying to design these to where you don't have to drive very far at all on any of these. For our speakers on the East Slope in Aurora, we've got Curvin, who's going to be our speaker. Curvin was our original youth convention speaker last year. We had to cancel. We invited him to come back this year, and we're trying to tweak it again now. And so he is locked in. And then on the West Slope, Micah Mack is going to be our speaker. Micah is an incredible communicator, highly sought after, and Micah is trying to be our speaker for Utah as well, but he's still trying to confirm that. He had another event. He's trying to kind of work out those details because he wants to be with us, and I want Micah to be the speaker in Utah. If he's not our speaker, then we'll invite someone who's just as dynamic, just as powerful, and we'll have that. James River worship team is going to be our worship in the Utah event, and then the local churches, VLC's worship team, which, man, they're incredible. They're going to be the worship for West Slope, and then for East Slope, High Point's worship team is going to be there. But James River had the date available to come to our Utah event, and so we're excited to be able to invite those guys, again, as long as everything works out for them with COVID. Back to the registration links, guys. I challenge you to look through that. When you get that digital packet, look at that link, study it. If you have questions, ask us. This is going to be a unique year. And we're willing to work as hard as we can to make this as simple and easy as possible. We want as many students. My goal is 1,000 students between all three of these events. The cost is so cheap. We've knocked the cost down for you guys so that we can have more students. Convention only is just $40, and it's only going to be one night in a hotel. So $40 for convention only. That's for adults and for students that you're bringing. Your first 2 adults will come for free. So basically the youth pastor, maybe their spouse, will come for free, and then everyone else is $40. For students doing fine arts, it's only $60. You get 2 categories and convention. And then for every additional category, it's going to be $10. Last year, we kind of made some deals with that and said, hey, you can do up to 5 categories for this amount. We're not going to be able to do that this year. There's too many working parts on this. And so what has to happen is convention only is $40. Convention and fine arts with 2 categories is $60. Every additional category is $10 extra. Our goal and our hope, man, is to, again, give your students the best experience for the most amazing price and really to have an encounter with God. I firmly believe, guys, that we could have over 50 churches participate, that we could have over 1,000 students between these 3 events. I am so excited about allowing this event and having this event that we're not having to cancel. So, guys, I'm praying for you, and I know this is a lot of information. Our team is here to serve you guys. If you have any questions, look through that packet. Be looking in January for the graphic promotion packet. We'll have a promo video as well as all the graphics. Please, guys, sign up early. Get this done before the end of January, and it will just go so much smoother. We do have a deadline of February 18th for fine arts. No matter which event you plan on coming to, if your student does not sign up for fine arts before February 18th, they're not going to be able to do fine arts. For convention, you can bring as many as you want, even at the door. There's no limit to the convention only. But for fine arts, there's so many details that we have to do to schedule and to get all those rooms, get everything in order. We must have those registrations by February 18th. That is the absolute final deadline. Guys, I hope that you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. I wanted to get all this information to you. Again, we're cheering you on. We love you. We cannot wait to worship God, to be together for these amazing youth conventions and fine arts that are happening in a region at a church near you.